Okay. Now I'll share once you go live.
All right, sir. We are
On
live.
your Facebook it is showing.
Yeah, so let me just have a look quickly. You are doing incredible work, sir. BJP ka kaam, social work, here, there, you're there, everywhere. From where do you get so much of energy?
Nahi, but it is from the people, those who support me.
The water also, you're doing so good. My God. I
So
remember
we have,
what
yeah, you
at
came
Noida.
to Delhi,
Yeah,
Noida.
yeah. Sir, yeah, so we are live. You can share, sir. Let me share on my page also. All right. So,
Hmm.
hmm. Can I start, sir? If you give me the permission.
Just I am posting it on my
Sure,
page.
sure. Aram se, easy. So good to see you, sir. After I think एक साल हो गया हमारे मिले हुए.
हाँ,
Hmm.
चलिए, it is now live. Share.
Can I start, sir?
Yes, we can proceed.
All right. Good evening, respected guests and our dear attendees on behalf of Social Tables. Thank you so much for investing your time with us today evening. I'm Kalpana Chaudhary, a social worker by profession and a founder of Social Tables, managing trustee and uh, chairperson of Jan Seva Foundation, Being the Change, and Lagna.com, a matrimony portal for differently able and acid attack survivors. TEDx speaker and active member at Wikiflow, CII, IWN, Maharashtra. Before diving into the guest introduction, let me introduce you to the Social Tables. Social Tables is targeted towards sustainable development with societal well-being and environmental consciousness. We engage with global leadership, diplomacy, informative panel, inspiring speakers, impactful leaders, talent developers, and engaging audience. Every week, we bring out to you some of the brightest minds from the diverse sector to discuss over a few significant ongoing issues. In this week series, in this week speaker series, we have a special guest with us today, Shri Gopal Krishna ji. Gopal ji is a national spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party Economic Affairs and lives in Noida. He is a fellow membership of the Institute of Chartered Account of India. He is the economic thinker and writer and extensively for newspaper and financial journals and delivers lectures in seminars and conferences. He is a trustee and treasurer of India Policy Foundation. He is also a member of the task force on MSME sectors by the Ministry of Finance. He is government nominee on the Central Council of Institute of Company Secretary and independent director on the board of Northeast Electric Power Co. and Bank of Baroda, member of board of governors at Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. He is also advisor to Minister of Water Resources on Nami Ganga. At a young age of 13 years, Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji took a part in Satyagraha during emergency in 1975 and was in jail for 3 months. He has initiated various public welfare projects like Jaldi Kar Nagrik Manch, Shriji Gosand Milk Cooperative Movements, Anti-Corruption Movement. He has also drafted a bill on the black money anti-bribery code. So a very warm welcome to you on our today's speaker series.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's an utmost pleasure to have you here with us today. So in today's discussion, we are going to discuss about the impact of digital transformation on India's financial and ecosystem. The very first question, sir, what is fintech and why is it so important?
Fintech has created a big revolution for India. Actually, it is a combination of two terms, financial services and technology. Financial services are very important for financial inclusion. A large part of our population was not participating in the economic growth which India had seen over several decades. I just quote a report from Global Wealth Report in 2016, which said that India's growth story was fine, but there was a lot of concentration of wealth. 1% of our population was controlling about 58% of the national wealth, and 97% of our population in 2016 was having net worth of less than $10,000. That means they were living in a minuscule wealth, and that was a big problem. So India saw growth, but there was lack of financial inclusion into that growth process. So the important thing about financial technology is increasing the reach of financial services, financial awareness, financial literacy through the use of innovative technologies. There are so many new technologies, and as we proceed in our discussion, we'll see that innovative technologies are doing wonderful, giving wonderful results in various sectors of the economy, whether in the manufacturing, science, healthcare, education. And similarly, use of technological in increasing the reach of financial literacy, financial services, banking sector, government social welfare schemes, services sector to more than 135 crore population. All these require a lot of technology, and integrating those technological innovations into the financial inclusion programs, whether of the government or NGOs or anybody, is basically termed in a larger sense globally about the fintech. Is this coin, this word?
All right, very well said, sir. So, what is the impact of digital transformation? How does it impact the economy?
As I told you that a large portion of our population was not able to get access to the growth story of India. So in 2016, I gave you one part of the report. In 2014, when we came to the power, particularly Narendra Modi ji, his method of working was first, the foremost thing was, he was saying always in our meetings and everywhere, first identify the problems. What are the problems in any particular area, and acknowledge those problems. Then once you acknowledge those problems, the important second part is try to create a technological solutions to those problems, because the more objective you become, more technology you use, the more innovative methods and processes you use, the reach and the efficiency is increased through various solutions of your problem. So identifying the problem, then identifying the technology which is best suited to contain that problem is the second part. And the third method that he was using was, and he was insisting, which I call many times as Modinomics, is that integrate various stakeholders to that technology. And even the problem solutions that you have find out, whether, like you see in the Jan Dhan account, which you have must seen, heard many times, was that there was large scale corruption and leakages into the social security system delivery of the government. Government had been doing lot of social benefit schemes were there with the government. And in one point of time, even Rajiv Gandhi ji publicly acknowledged that 85% of what the government distributes through various mechanisms is lost in the administration, corruption and leakages. And only 15% reaches to the targeted persons for whom that benefit is targeted. So in all the stakeholders have to be integrated into that technological solution is very important. So when we found out the problem that there is large scale corruption and leakages into the government social welfare benefit schemes of the government, and they were not reaching to the targeted audience for which it is mandated. So that, then we thought of a solution of Jan Dhan account, which is called Trinity of JAM. Jan Dhan account, Aadhaar card linking and mobile banking. JAM was basically called, and government went out for a large scale opening of Jan Dhan account, and penetration of banking account was the first target. And in that, initial target was 7.5 crore, but ultimately government was able to at present open more than 37 crore bank accounts
Wow.
across the country. So the integration, the third part that I was telling was important, the fintech was integrating the stakeholders. So this solution of Jan Dhan account and integrating the direct benefit transfer mechanism of social security schemes from the government to these targeted beneficiaries, it required that the banking structure should be integrated into that solution. Mobile technology should be used into it. Aadhaar based identification technology should be integrated, and many of the social benefit schemes of the government all should be integrated to this Jan Dhan account. And successively you see that banks operated, POS, various stakeholders came into this network, and government added on many of the continuously new welfare schemes into this Jan Dhan account. And now we were at one point of time easily able to transfer almost 95 to 100% of funds directly to the beneficiaries and the targeted beneficiaries.
Wow.
Like in Ujjwala, there was a subsidy announced by the government on the gas connection. But even the rich people who were also using the gas connection, they were also getting subsidy from that. Even a hotel which is using 100 cylinder a day was getting more subsidy benefit than a women which was in a remote area and using only 1 cylinder in a month. So this was a very skewed method of subsidy delivery. So integrating that to the Jan Dhan account and Ujjwala income and direct benefit, so it was government was successfully able to give direct benefit of subsidy of gas connection to the targeted person, and other persons, those who are not needing them, were excluded from the whole system. And our government was successful in reducing, saving a subsidy of about 90,000 crores in a year. And with that, we were able to add almost 6 crores new women force into this Ujjwala Yojana. So the third point was integrating the stakeholders into that whole ecosystem. And the fourth was create a targeted metrics. That's very important. When we started this Jan Dhan account, we said that 7.5 crore bank account will be opened. Ultimately, everybody said that it is not possible to open such a large number of accounts, but government went out with a targeted approach, and metrics was created to performance evaluation. Every officers was given a target to achieve this, and ultimately you see now the result that we have achieved 37 crore bank accounts.
Wow.
So targeted approach. So these are the four important parts of our Modinomics, which I call are important in welfare delivery mechanisms, that we are using technology for financial inclusion, for better benefit transfer to the targeted person, to create an ecosystem where easily, without any leakages and corruption, funds are, social benefits are transferred to the people. And these are the four aspects of it. Identify the problem, create a technological solution, identify a technological solution, according to them, create an ecosystem of technological solution into that, integrate all the stakeholders, means whoever will participate in this delivery, beneficiaries, intermediaries, government schemes, all this have to be integrated into that ecosystem. And ultimately, a targeted approach for metrics of performance, that what you want to deliver, how many people you want to tackle. And therefore, the second important was the this toilet opening of the removing the open defecation system, and 9.5 crore toilets were built. Now we are targeting 15 crore houses by 2024, where tapped water will go to every household. Around 15 crore is our target, and we are working on that. So this is a targeted delivery mechanism. And I think this use of technology in financial inclusion program has been done. I can give many examples, but as we discuss, I think I have given you a basic idea that how efficiency is being built into the delivery mechanism through technology, how cost is being reduced, how the financial inclusion is being carried out. So fintech has three aspects basically. Is cost reduction in the transaction. So if you remove the corruption and leakages into system, you reduce the cost to the government and to the intermediate. Everything, even delivery processes, etc., are with technology. Lot of cost is reduced into that. So cost reduction. Second is efficiency in the delivery, and this financial inclusion. So these are the three things through which financial technology operates, and globally this has been very successful. And over the last 6 years, I can give you ample examples where we have used fintech innovations. Even this has helped new field of entrepreneurship and employment generation. One thing is that benefit is given to the people is one thing, services are delivered efficiently is one part of it. It also has created lot of employment opportunity for technological innovation, artificial intelligence, etc. New areas have developed where startup ecosystem is being done. IIT, IIM students, young people are coming out with innovative solutions and which are being scaled up into the commercial and industrial sector. So I have given one example. This can come up into financial institutions area. This similar approach can be taken into industrial innovation, manufacturing, etc. Many services with 135 crore population, which is considered to be a big demand market for large services delivery. So there are ample scope for innovations.
That's remarkable. I would rather say it is a digital transformation and empowerment as well.
Yes.
Truly, in all sense. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So what is digital for banks, and how are banks facing new digital competitors?
The most important part of any fintech is the financial institutions. And those financial institutions are the intermediaries which provide the financial services to the customers. And bank is one of the largest sector into our the whole ecosystem. One thing, are you recording? That will be good that we can post on the
everything, sir.
kar lijiye. So we can post on YouTube also.
Yeah. No, I will post it on YouTube as well.
Okay, yes. Fine. So this financial intermediaries, bank is one of the important financial intermediary into the whole financial ecosystem. Second is this capital market is one area where also banks are involved into various activities, because all the money transactions have to take place through bank. Even insurance sector is also one of the players into the financial ecosystem. Insurance, capital market, banking, this NBFC, mutual fund, all these constitute the whole financial ecosystem, and bank is a backbone of all this financial ecosystem, because everybody needs financial transactions. And whether it is insurance or capital market or mutual fund or any other investment asset, move to the industries, etc., debt market, all these instruments of financial instruments require financial transaction, and they do it through majorly banking structure. So once the bank are digitized, transactions are automatic, they do go through the process are automated, no subjective interference, no processes, manual processes are required. So one thing is it reduces the time of transactions. Earlier, if you go for a small loan, consumer loan to a bank, it will ask you to fill forms, then it will process, send it to physically to the head office, then they will analyze credit rating, etc. So then they will sanction. All this will take a lot of time. Now the bank will immediately digitally transmit those information. KYC are implemented, all your data, etc., are filled online, and even with large data available at the bank for your credit transactions behavior also. Certain customers are bad in nature because they default on anything. They are not very credit worthy. All this information is being assimilated at the RBI also. So the bank now can easily access to that credit rating. At a credit, no, companies require credit rating, but individual also have the CRISIL number. So that through that their credit behavior, etc., will be known to the bank, and easily they can assess risk. So a transaction becomes fast for them. It becomes objective and easily flow. Then they can check the credit rating also fastly. And second, third thing is risk analysis becomes also easy for the banking institution, because they can monitor physical verification of transaction, etc., through manual ledger, etc. Go now, everything is online. So their audit team, surveillance team, risk internal audit team, external audit team, then surveillance systems, etc., can get access to all the transactions, even business transactions like through credit card and GST tax information. All this can get accumulated, and there is a good history of anybody about his credit rating and financial behavior. So banks are at a less risk. So banking transaction depend upon the process length and the manual information. One, cost is reduced on that side. Second thing is the risk is reduced. So bank financial transactions also depend upon the amount of risk that is involved into any financial, that is also reduced. So ultimately, digital banking is very very much cheaper than physical banking. So, and there is a lot of ease of doing. You sit now, if you see into the COVID situation, if we had not digital banking in such a large extent, many of the issues would have become very difficult for us to handle them. Going to the bank, collecting, depositing check, getting cash withdrawal, etc. All this bank going for clearing, etc. All these things would have become physically very much complicated in this COVID crisis. So online banking and digital banking has saved us a lot of trouble. And at the same time, it has reduced the cost, brought efficiency, and many other benefits and risk reduction, etc. Surveillance, all these things have come through digital banking. And the banking sector has innovated a lot over this 6 years. If you see the growth of digital transaction, it is tremendous in India, and still with low penetration at current time, still there is large scope for digital penetration in India. But many of the initiatives of the government and the private players also has helped, which we will discuss some of the good initiatives of penetration. But digital banking in itself has created a revolution, and many products have been developed on the digital banking, and they are now become the global leader. This BHIM app is one of the UPI and the hashtag 99 payment through mobile. Even non-smartphone can also use this #99 hashtag payment gateway. So BHIM app, RuPay card, this hashtag 99 are even being recognized globally. And RuPay card has even the transaction through RuPay card has surpassed the MasterCard and Visa globally. They are also finding the pinch of the penetration of RuPay card. So these are all innovation within this 4 or 5 years, where digital banking has seen complete revolution and transformation into the banking sector. And therefore, if you see RBI reports, etc., you will find that there is a huge growth in the digital transaction currently.
Totally agree with you. It has created a huge revolution, and as well as it is saving time, saving money, saving energy, and I would rather put it as ease of doing business.
Yes. And there are various benefits that everybody is deriving out of this whole revolution. RBI is happy, banking sector is happy, intermediary is happy, government is happy, the beneficiary is happy, everybody is happy.
Happy, and globally it has been appreciated. I remember Bill Gates also had appreciated a lot about it.
Yes, and therefore you see recently Google has committed $10 billion of investment into our Digital India initiative. and it's one of the remarkable initiative of the government to increase the penetration of internet, because all this digital transformation, fintech, etc., they ride on mobile phone, telephony, internet services, etc., and whether it is fiber connectivity or everything. So government has also gone for massive reforms in this. Computer service centers, more than 3 lakh computer service centers have been opened by the government, and these computer service centers across country are offering around 135 government services at your doorstep. Through, you can, in villages, remote areas, everything, everywhere you can go to a computer service center from a local person, and you can get your passport updated, ration card, driving license. Almost 135 services have been integrated into this 3 lakh computer service centers. And earlier, I know that I have to pay the bill, I will run to the this electricity department, then stand in the line, and then after 2 hours, then I'll pay. Then I don't know what will be the reconciliation, whether when the check will come for clearance, whether it is debited, it is credited to my account. All these things have become completely online, streamlined. I pay online, no going, how much energy and time I have saved. So
And
everybody is doing.
life, you're sitting at home and everything is available by your government at home, be it at rural, urban, everywhere. That's a
Yes.
remarkable initiative by Modi government and by you all. You are also in a finance committee as well. You guys are doing some incredible work, sir. So what impact do you think digital banking products will have in financial service?
I give you one example. I was in Bank of Baroda.
Yes.
That time, this after demonetization, we went for one survey and study. What we found was that if you a person, because after that there was a big push for people, pushing people to move to the digital banking. Earlier there was a lot of cash transactions. India though had lot of opportunities, but there are taxation and other issues which were not equipping people to move to a digital transaction. But after demonetization, this push was very much on them to move to the digital transaction. We did one survey in our bank and found that a person going to the bank and doing one physical transaction, because he will come to the bank, there will be space required, other facilities will be required, physical interaction will be required. So the per transaction cost for a person coming to the bank came out to rupees 80 rupees per transaction. Average, if the bank is doing 1 lakh transaction a day, and the total cost of bank is about 80 lakh rupees. So per transaction, 80 rupees is the cost for bank. Like this, it is calculated. And on the digital transaction, we found that it reduced to 60 paisa.
Oh.
Same transaction, from 80 rupees, it will come down to 60 paisa for the bank. So how much benefit bank, and ultimately this will be passed down to the lender, depositors, everything. So this is a huge benefit on the financial services, this digital transformation. And similarly, you find in the broking business also, capital markets, DP account, how much penetration. Now, I tell you, financial literacy has also created a big empowerment for women. When I was associated with NSE Members Association, I was national president of that once upon a time. And that time, this capital market, SEBI had taken a big initiative on financial literacy and creating asset class of investment for small people and even banking sector, etc. And what we found, and I went to many colleges for as a resource person to tell them about financial literacy, how to open bank account. This is the government of corporate affairs has an initial investor protection fund, etc. Through that, lot of financial literacy initiatives were taking place. Earlier, I'm talking about 2014, 15. What I had a certain good example for you, because you have been working on the women empowerment a lot. I went to some colleges. One एक कॉलेज, एक लड़की ने मुझे बताया कि सर मैं अपना बिजनेस करना चाहती थी, जब ये जनधन अकाउंट खुले और मुझे रुपए कार्ड मिल गया, ये हो गया, मेरे घर आके पीओएस ने मेरे अकाउंट खोल दिया। उसके पहले क्या होता था कि मैं अपने भाई के पीछे पड़ी रहती थी कि मेरे को बैंक में जा पैसा जमा करवा दो, मेरे को कुछ पता नहीं, उसके उसके बैंक अकाउंट से काम करती। अब मेरा अकाउंट खुल गया, अब मैं इतना ज्यादा इंडिपेंडेंस फील करती हूँ, इतना एम्पावर्ड फील करती हूँ कि उसके हिसाब से मैं कोई बिजनेस कर सकती हूँ, अपना काम कर सकती हूँ, अपना पैसा रख सकती हूँ। और मैं ऐसे एग्जांपल बहुत आपके सामने आएंगे कि
सर इससे
जनधन अकाउंट ने,
सर कॉन्फिडेंस भी बढ़ जाता है, सिक्योरिटी एक महसूस होती है जो ये सारे इनिशिएटिव आप लिए। सो या
और एम्पावरमेंट बहुत हुआ हो गया महिलाओं का। तो फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी से बहुत बड़ा एम्पावरमेंट हुआ, क्योंकि आज की डेट में उनको मैंने देखा कि वो सबसे ज्यादा इसी बात में, चाहे वो पत्नी हो, चाहे वो बेटी हो, चाहे वो माँ हो, उनको जब माँ है तो बेटे के ऊपर डिपेंड करना पड़ता था, बहन है तो भाई के ऊपर डिपेंड करना, पत्नी है तो पति के ऊपर फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजेक्शन्स के लिए। जब उनके जनधन अकाउंट खुल गए और जिस तरह उनको रुपए कार्ड मिल गया, उनको 5,000 का क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी मिल गई, उनके बैंक अकाउंट में सरकार की स्कीम्स के पैसे आने लग गए सीधे, तो वह लोगों को इतना ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस और उनके मजबूती आई कि वह महिलाओं के एम्पावरमेंट का सबसे ज्यादा, डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ने सबसे ज्यादा एम्पावरमेंट अगर किसी एक सेक्शन को किया है तो वह गरीब और महिलाओं को सबसे ज्यादा, गरीबों के तो सभी लोगों को किया है, लेकिन बाकी इवन मिडिल क्लास और अपर मिडिल क्लास में भी मैंने देखा कि फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी प्रोग्राम वगैरह ने और डिजिटल बैंकिंग ने और ये जनधन अकाउंट ने, सरकार के स्कीम्स ने बहुत बड़ा एम्पावरमेंट का काम किया है इसके अंदर।
बिल्कुल सर, मैं इस बात से आपके साथ सहमत हूँ, बिकॉज मेरी मेड भी आजकल यही कहती है कि भाभी जी आप जरा मेरे अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर कर दीजिए। तो बड़ी खुशी होती है सर जब वो कहते हैं कि मेरा खुद का अकाउंट है और आप उस अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर कर दीजिए, घर पे लेके जाऊंगी तो शायद मेरे हाथ पे नहीं रहेंगे पैसे,
बिल्कुल।
है ना? या सो
हाँ,
या so now going forward to the same thing, so what is the next for digital transformation in financial services?
जैसे आपने फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज भी बताई, वैसे ही आपने इकोनॉमी इकोसिस्टम की भी बात की हुई है
जी जी
कि डिजिटल सिस्टम में फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज के साथ अल्टीमेटली इकोसिस्टम को बिल्ड करना है।
जी।
तो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज जो है ना, वह हमारे पूरे इकोसिस्टम की बैकबोन है। उस बैकबोन से, जैसे कैपिटल मार्केट वगैरह के लिए बैंकिंग का मैंने बताया, पूरा जो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज है वो, चाहे वो एमएसएमई को लोन चाहिए, आरबीआई के थ्रू उसको क्रेडिट की अवेलेबिलिटी चाहिए, उसको फार्मर्स को एग्रीगेटर के थ्रू पैसा चाहिए, जो गवर्नमेंट के फंड्स वगैरह के थ्रू कैपिटल इक्विटी वगैरह चाहिए, तो यह सब जो चीजें हैं अर्थव्यवस्था के बैकबोन के तरह से फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज होती हैं। चाहे एनबीएफसी हैं या जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज हैं, यह सारा जो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज सिस्टम है, यह हमारे इकोनॉमी के बैकबोन है। तो यह बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन हुआ, इकोनॉमी मजबूत होगी, फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम मजबूत होगा, फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम मजबूत होगा, वह डिजिटल और ऑनलाइन पेमेंट और डिजिटल फिनटेक आदि के साथ मजबूत होगा। तो फिनटेक मजबूत होगा तो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज मजबूत हो गई, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज मजबूत हो गई तो हमारी इकोनॉमी भी मजबूत हो गई। और जैसे डिजिटल पेमेंट वगैरह के थ्रू बैंकिंग के लिए इनोवेशन किए हैं, फिनटेक का केवल लिमिटेड रोल फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन में नहीं है, उसका रोल आप देखिए स्टार्टअप वगैरह में, आज ई कॉमर्स है, इसको इसमें भी फिनटेक है, इसमें पेमेंट को आप इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, डिलीवरी इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, जो सर्विस प्रोवाइड करता है उसके अकाउंटिंग पूरे सिस्टम को आप इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, उसने कितने डिलीवर किया, कितना उसका रिफंड आया, कितना प्रॉफिट आया, वेंडर का कितना आया। जो अब ई वॉलेट बने हुए हैं, ई वॉलेट आप खोल देते हैं, पेटीएम वगैरह जैसे ई वॉलेट खोल लेते हैं, तो आपको कोई बेनिफिट क्रेडिट का या कैशबैक वगैरह की स्कीम चाहिए, आपके वॉलेट में ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, आप भी अपना पैसा उसमें ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं। तो सेफ सिस्टम के थ्रू, मैकेनिज्म के थ्रू, बेसिक पैसा आपका बैंक में पड़ा हुआ है, थोड़ा अमाउंट आपने ई वॉलेट में ट्रांसफर कर दिया, ई वॉलेट के थ्रू आपने किसी को भी अपने घर की, हमारी जो महिला है काम करती है, सब्जी ड्राइवर है, उनको भी उनके ऐसा छोड़ दिया, कहीं भी उसको टोल देना है, कोई सब्जी लानी है, कहीं ना कहीं भी क्यूआर कोड, भारत क्यूआर कोड कितना इंपॉर्टेंट बढ़ता जा रहा है। जैसे मैंने भीम ऐप वगैरह बताया, तो भारत क्यूआर कोड है पेटीएम, उसमें क्यूआर कोड से आप सीधे ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। पॉइंट ऑफ सर्विसेज का है, जो पेट्रोल पंप और दुकानों पे आप सीधे पॉइंट ऑफ सर्विस में उसके पास वो एक मशीन छोटी सी लगी होती है जिसके थ्रू आप अपना।
सर थोड़ा नेट चेक करेंगे आप? we lost him. सर थोड़ा, आई थिंक आई विल कॉल हिम। सर आपका नेट चेक करोगे आप? All right, I think there's some technical glitch and he should be joining us soon. Let me just try and get him inside. Sir, you can join back. I think there's some technical glitch. Yeah. जी 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 सर, मेरा ठीक है, आप आ जाइए। जी सर, जी सर, जी सर। So he is joining in a while. Just a minute. This technical glitch, I swear. Just trying to get him on. All right, guys, I think there's some technical glitch and he have just messaged me that he should be here in a minute. So I'm just waiting for sir to join us back. This is one of the most interesting subject which we are talking, and it is the need of the hour to know and understand about this digital empowerment, financial inclusion. So, yeah, he's here. Yeah, all right, sir. So we were talking about what is next for digital transformation in financial services.
Yeah, after so financial services, there are many innovations that are taking place. I'll just list some of them for your benefit that have taken, and they should be known to the people who are using these financial services, like MSME, small businesses, daily wagers, or all these people who are doing small self-entrepreneurship, those who are self-employed, even women self-help groups are working. All these innovations, etc., should be known to them. They should extensively use. The first and foremost is that the government e-market. After the banking transaction that I have told, government e-market is a big innovation on digital transformation, and it uses integrate the financial services and the various supply side or from e-commerce, etc. So where all the demands from the whatever are the requirements of the various departments or various PSUs, etc. They have to put their etc. on the e-market. Those who can supply, traders, etc., should register themselves on this government e-market platform and get benefit of supply to the government. One thing.
I think, sir, there's again a net issue.
Treats platform, which basically I know from Bank of Baroda, but it's an it's a platform.
There was some internet glitch. So can you just repeat it again, please? I'm so sorry.
Which one? GEM, you have got it, na? GEM issue,
Yeah,
you got it?
yes, yes.
The second important platform that we should all know in financial services through fintech and the supporting the economy is TREADS. That is TREADS. That's a payment platform. When any small businesses or MSME, etc., supply to any government body, etc., they raise a bill to that, and there is a time lag through which they can get their payment from that company. So they can come to the street platforms and upload their bill, transaction bill, payment, and upload and get it discounted immediately and cash through the bank platforms. Then bank will, after the due date of that payment, will directly collect the payment from that company, PSU, government department, etc. So there is a time lag of around payment cycle of 90 days, which blocks lot of credit working capital of small businesses. They can use this TREADS platform.
Yeah. Any limited budget or something?
No, that is a free platform. You just register there. And it's a platform where some transaction fees will be charged depending upon your discounted value.
Okay.
How much amount you are getting discounted. If you have a bill of 2 lakh rupees, a normal bank will charge some interest for 3 months discounting immediately, but you will not have to run after the PSU or government department for encashing that, and your working capital cost will be reduced to that amount. That money will be immediately refunded. Then third is government is working on this refund of through GST, etc., on the taxation wallet also, where many people are paying. This GST in itself is a big technological innovation of all the financial taxation services that the government provide. Indirect taxes, etc., are very complicated structure. There were around 16 to 18 taxes that a businessman had to file returns, get registered, etc. They have been now integrated into only one GST, and everything from assessment, from filing of return to refund, everything has become online. Even the government is working on a wallet for exporters and the small businesses, etc., where they any refund that they claim, credit, input tax credit, etc., that they claim, that can go to their wallet. They can use it and use it for various payment of other taxes, etc. So the third thing is you should get integrated your business structure into the GST. GEM, TREADS, GST. Then there is a PSB 59 platform where public sector banks have come together, where anybody, MSME, etc., even women are getting preferences in that. Interest subversion is there, and for them, women entrepreneurs, etc., they can put up their requirement of loan on this PSB 59 platform. It's an online platform where they should put their application for loan requirement, etc. It will be analyzed by the banks and picked up by any of the bank. You don't have to run to Bank of Baroda. Then if it refuses, then you go to Bank of India or you go to State Bank of India. If you don't have a branch nearby, where you will go? So on the PSB 59 platform, you can register your loan application online and through that the banks will process that application and give you loan. And government has committed itself that within 59 minutes your application will be registered in that. Loan
Wow.
will not be sanctioned in 59 minutes, but your eligibility etc for loan will be appraised and your application, valid application will be registered. Then banks etc can pick up the loan application and then they will give the loan. So PSB 59 is the fourth initiative. Government has
Sir, so sorry to interrupt. What would be the interest rate?
interest rate is for MSME, whatever has been decided by the government. There is certain sectoral relaxation in agriculture sector gets a lot of benefit in the interest of women are also getting certain interest subversion. Then there are priority sector, whatever is the sector applicable, sector rate applicable, that will be applicable on this. It is an ease of getting loan, transparent way of fast getting loan,
9 minutes.
etc.
Who we wouldn't have thought even in our dreams.
Yes, and then now we are moving towards this e-assessment, where, and what I tell you is that people are not using online filing of income tax return because bureaucrats and many government officials are not very much interested. We know how the system works. They are not interested in moving towards online return filing, etc. But the government has created a platform of virtual assessment, e-assessment, where a honest taxpayer can file his return online, his assessment, etc., refund, everything. He can pay tax online. He can go file his return online, not only GST, but normal income tax also. And at present, it is not very wide reach because people are not using it that much. Either there is less awareness or people don't want to use that, whatever may be the reason, but government officials are not promoting it, etc. But those honest taxpayers who want ease of doing business should go for e-assessment. That facility is available to them. So they should use this facility. Then I have told you this Treats, GEM. There is a good startup ecosystem that the government has developed. Even whenever there is an innovation in financial technology or you have some certain innovation into, if a young student or any young entrepreneur, he found certain solution, which is first time process innovation or product innovation or fintech innovation, solution of any services innovation, he can register through the startup ecosystem. Is very nicely computerized web-based system where startup ecosystem you can register your product, etc., and go for, even there is a lower taxation, even only 15% corporate tax is there in startup ecosystem. So innovation into fintech and other technological innovation, government is promoting new entrepreneurs, giving them lot of handholding with regard to market. Even the PSU, I tell you, I have been onto the board of various PSUs. All PSUs put in on their website whatever are the challenges into their processes or technological challenges into their product, etc., that they are facing. They have to list them. Any new academic student, engineer or new entrepreneur who want to work of that product or process and create innovation into that process, it is called a hackathon, where he can identify that PSU will fund him for his research and development. And once he develops that process or product, that PSU will even give him assured market for buying that product. So young entrepreneurs, self-employment, instead of I interact with young people at universities and many places. I tell them, why are you running after jobs at no cost? If around 10 crore people are adding every periodically into the job market, no government or anybody across the globe can provide them jobs. You have to go for self-entrepreneurship, employment, etc. And there are ample opportunities with universities coming out with various courses. Skill development programs are there, skilling of young entrepreneurship, IIT, triple IT, ITI, all those things are, I tell you, the government has improved their digital outreach to a large extent. Their websites are very efficient, informative, and people are very innovative. People are very conversant with technologies. I tell you, young people just spending time on Facebook, Twitter, etc., and all, etc. Go to the website, put some time daily on 1 hour, 1 hour, half hour on government websites. They are quite informative, innovative. They are very much help. If you go to, even the state governments have developed a lot of Udyog Mitra websites. They will give you every information. Why you think you will run around to various people? Go to any website of Udyog Mitra. I have seen Uttar Pradesh website of Udyog Mitra. It gives a lot of information. How much land is available, what are the products. Now the UP government is coming out with one product, one district in information. Even the government has opened up its defense sector for MSME sector production. So government is coming forward to handhold young entrepreneurs, MSME, etc. But they also will have to move one step ahead. If the government is moving 3 steps, they will have to move 1 step. And if they find a gap in the government service, etc., immediately respond. Even Prime Minister is responding. Even on the ministries, if you tweet, use Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, etc., for putting up your problems, etc., to the government. They will immediately respond. We see how Sushma Swaraj used the Twitter handle for agonies of the foreign nationals and how they were resolved. She was so compassionate, she was so caring, and that she used the Twitter handle so often for benefits to the people. So I tell you, this startup ecosystem is there, which you should go. Now, new areas.
Handling Twitter so well, and that's how I connected to you. And I was there in Delhi and discussing on the project of water with your co-committee team.
Yes,
It was
yes.
very interesting and very empowering as well. And you invited us and you hosted lunch for us. So
Yes.
I do remember that. And that, having said that, it shows that digital or getting into this Twitter and in a right direction will take you to places.
Yes. So
Innovation.
there are so many things now. News areas are opening up. Blockchain area is developing. RBI is creating very.
Also, you have opened.
Huh?
MSME
Yes.
champion वो क्या है?
MSME क्या?
Champions.
Which I missed your word.
MSME champions.
वो तो, that is a competition that the Prime Minister has said for the MSMEs innovation, new work, any innovation. That kind of challenges, some solutions that the problem is problems certain areas are finding. So government is throwing up challenges on that.
Wow. Wonderful.
So those who have performed well, etc. But these issues on blockchain, artificial intelligence. Now the government, there are certain risks also involved. We should all be very much aware of the risk involved in this digital transformation. Absolutely. There are certain challenges that the government is finding, and we should look into those challenges also.
So wonderful, sir. So everything comes with challenges, but the whole thing is in every adversity, you also have to see the opportunity. And COVID-19 have got all of us over here together. I mean, never thought that we would have an interactive session over here.
Yeah.
Well, so how does this COVID-19, okay, so you have spoken about this trades, jams, extension, PSD, e-assessment, startup ecosystem, Udyog Mitra. So having said all those things, how does government or this COVID-19 crisis have affected all this area, the process of digital transformation?
Yes, this COVID is giving new opportunity. There is a challenge we accept. There is a big challenge for the economy through the COVID. And at the same time, but it has given lot of opportunity. Government has many of the mobile app, etc. were we were using from which were having their origin from China and even globally also. So almost 59 apps have been banned by the Indian government. We should now, there is an opportunity and government is also searching for certain apps which can replace the mobile apps which were being used from originating from China. So there is opportunity on them. What we should use this digital platforms, even social media platforms also, like Facebook, Twitter, Zoom, etc. What we are doing is, I give you certain examples. Suppose what is happening is, what we were importing from China, we were importing Vishnuji, Rakhis were being imported from China. How they were able to find the taste of Indians, how the Ganesh statue will be built, which is the time Ganesh Chaturthi, that whole Ganesh Puja will take place. So even which kind of Rakhis and girls and which thing was they do lot of data analytics on the social media. If you they see which is the everybody, if you are tying a Rakhi to your brother, you put a post it on your social media, they collect which kind of Rakhi. So this kind of activity we should this data, social media, even I think this is a good opportunity. Even also, if you are selling one product, if you are selling if you are insurance business, into the insurance business, what you have to do is to LinkedIn, through LinkedIn, you go through the LinkedIn, you the data, do data mining through the LinkedIn. Who are the people who can be who can use the insurance product? What is their requirement? Then put some post, engage with them through posting through them through social media. This way, give you this kind of data mining, analytics, etc. can help into small businesses also. And the China has very efficiently and very innovatively used the social media platforms for big data collection. And this big data is, as the Prime Minister has said, that big data and artificial intelligence are a gold, a new gold in the economy. So we are at the government level also trying to protect this big data, etc., so that there are issues and challenges with regard to data privacy. They know, if you are seeing particular, you are interested in adventure activities. So you will see that once you see one or two Discovery Channel adventure films in your Facebook, they will put up advertisement about this adventure short films, etc. So this kind of analytics takes place. The preferences are identified. There are counter issues also with regard to that. The government is coming out with a global data privacy law is coming out. Even e-commerce is being regulated. The benefit of this 135 crore population, their digital outreach, their extensive penetration of internet, etc., gives benefit to our own economy. This is one area where government is working. But the young people from there is a government initiative on connecting academic institutions to the industry is also very important, because many of the research which the universities take, they are not commercially viable. You have to, your research in itself does not get you economic benefit. It cannot be monetized unless you come out with a research which can be commercially viable or economically beneficial. You will not get benefit of your academic research, etc. So the government is working on policies, etc., so that this academia and industry connect is established more. These are the things that the government is working. And this huge investment of Google, etc., are coming out because there is a big penetration opportunities in the India about this digital this ecosystem. So fintech, digital equipment, digital transactions and financial services, and in all this artificial intelligence ecosystem, all these ecosystems and technological solutions, etc., are giving huge opportunities. And I give you one or two figures. simply in 2016, there were the total per day transactions on digital platform was 1 lakh crore daily basis.
Oh.
In 2020, it has increased to 5 lakh crores. And it is expected that 25, the total digital transactions per day in volume wise, value wise will become 15 lakh crore per day. Our total budget size annually is around 20 lakh crore. So almost 2/3 of our total budget size daily transaction will come. So how much new penetration of mobile phones it will require, how much internet penetration data transfer it will require. This will give huge opportunity for economic activity for our population. And the total number of transactions per day in 2025 is expected to be 1.5 billion, यानी 1.5 करोड़ ट्रांजेक्शन्स डेली होने लगेंगे. हाँ, तो इतना सब. और ई कॉमर्स का भी बहुत बड़ा स्कोप है. ई कॉमर्स में आज की डेट में जो कैश पेमेंट, धीरे धीरे ई कॉमर्स बहुत बढ़ रहा है. कोविड में आपने पूछा, कोविड में सारा ई कॉमर्स सबसे ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है. और ई कॉमर्स में कैश ट्रांजैक्शन आज की डेट में केवल 17% कैश ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहे हैं. बाकी 20% इज थ्रू बैंक पेमेंट, 29% इज थ्रू कार्ड पेमेंट, और डिजिटल मोबाइल एटसेट्रा वो 25% है. तो केवल कैश. तो धीरे धीरे ऑल दिस वी विल मूव थ्रू. ई कॉमर्स का बढ़ता चला जाएगा पेनिट्रेशन, और उसका पेनिट्रेशन बढ़ेगा तो डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस का बढ़ेगा. डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस, बैंकिंग, ये सब चीजें बढ़ेंगे. तो यह बड़े एम्पल अपॉर्चुनिटीज है. आज की डेट में हमारे यहाँ पे जो मोबाइल है, क्यों इतना ग्लोबल और आईफोन और एप्पल क्यों इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है? ये हमारे सेवा के लिए तो हमारे देश में नहीं आ रहे ना.
बिल्कुल.
इनको बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है. इनको लग रहा है कि भारत में बहुत बड़ी इकोनॉमिक रिवॉल्यूशन होने वाली है.
उनको पता है.
हाँ, डिजिटल रिवॉल्यूशन आ रहा है. डिजिटल इंडिया का इतना इनिशिएटिव है. पंचायत, 80 लाख पंचायत है हमारे यहाँ पे. उन सब पंचायतों को इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करने का सरकार का बहुत बड़ा इनिशिएटिव है. सब पंचायतों को डिजिटाइज कर देंगे, इंटरनेट से कनेक्टेड करेंगे, फाइबर लेआउट करेंगे. आज आप देखो, जियो का एग्जांपल दो. रिलायंस को आप जानते हैं, बॉम्बे फाइनेंशियल नगरी है भारत की.
जी.
जियो ने, रिलायंस ने आज मतलब मेरे ख्याल से 6th या 7th वर्ल्ड के वेल्थ में सबसे बड़ा. और कितने शॉर्ट पीरियड में, मैं कभी 2-3 दिन पहले इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में रिपोर्ट आई थी कि कितनी फास्ट ग्रोथ किया. इतने 6 साल में उन्होंने अपनी वेल्थ को, जो पहले 4 साल, 5 साल, 6 साल में डबल हो रही थी, उसको आज वो इतने $1 ट्रिलियन की जो उनकी वेल्थ है, वो उसको इतनी फास्ट उन्होंने ग्रो की है. क्यों? क्योंकि उनका जियो का नेटवर्क उन्होंने फैलाया.
Yes.
आज जियो ने इतना बड़ा नेटवर्क, इसके पहले भारती एयरटेल ने अपने लिए इतनी बड़ी वेल्थ क्रिएट की थी. तो ये तो लार्ज प्लेयर्स हैं. छोटे छोटे लोगों ने जितने आज 2014 में हमारे यहाँ पे 2 कंपनियां थी जो मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चर करती थी. आज हमारे यहाँ 200 कंपनियां हैं. और मैं नोएडा रहता हूँ, यहाँ पे कई कंपनियां हैं जो धड़ाधड़ मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की खुलती जा रही है. और इंटरनेट, मोबाइल का पेनिट्रेशन आज 115 करोड़ परिवारों, लोगों के पास मोबाइल फोन हमारे यहाँ पे है. ब्रॉडबैंड इंटरनेट का पेनिट्रेशन 60% जो है वह ब्रॉडबैंड का पेनिट्रेशन हो गया. अभी भी 40% एरियाज में लोगों तक जाना है, लेकिन यह बहुत बड़ा पेनिट्रेशन हो गया. आज अगर हमारे पास इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी नहीं होती, मोबाइल नहीं होते, स्मार्टफोन नहीं होते, आईपैड नहीं होते, कंप्यूटर नहीं होते, तो आज सर्विस प्रोवाइडर नहीं होते, मोडम्स नहीं होते, तो आज हम कोविड में तो सरवाइव करना मुझे लगता है मुश्किल हो जाता.
बहुत मुश्किल होता. और अब तो 5G भी आ रहा है सर.
हाँ, 5G आ रहा है, ये नए डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं. तो ये मुझे लगता है कि चीजें हैं जो कि हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है आने वाले समय में. और एक चीज मैं बता, जैसे जनधन अकाउंट की बात है, गरीबों के कल्याण की हमने बात की, एक एग्जांपल दे देता हूं। मैंने राजीव गांधी जी का तो बताया कि 85% गड़बड़ हो जाता है, करप्शन में लीक हो जाता है। अभी प्रधानमंत्री ने कोविड के बाद, आपने कोविड की बात की, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सबसे पहले तो हेल्थ सेक्टर को 25 मार्च को जब लॉकडाउन अनाउंस किया, उसके पहले हेल्थ सेक्टर को स्ट्रॉन्ग किया। उसके बाद हम लोगों को लगा कि देखिए गरीब लोगों के लिए जो लोअर स्टेटा ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन होती है, उस तक पैसा पहुंचाना बहुत जरूरी है, नहीं तो उनकी नौकरी शॉर्ट टर्म, उनको रेडी वाले, पटरी वाले, जो किसान है, उन सब की इकोनॉमी में, छोटे छोटे दुकानदार हैं, इन सब की इकोनॉमी में बहुत प्रॉब्लम आ गई है। तो इनको पैसा पहुंचाना बहुत जरूरी है और जनधन अकाउंट के थ्रू इनको पहुंचाना चाहिए। और सरकार ने तय किया कि 1,72,000 करोड़ प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना के तहत सेकंड जो स्टेप था कोविड के बाद, कि यह तुरंत पहुंचाया जाएगा। 40 करोड़ अकाउंट में 53,000 करोड़ केवल 3-4 दिन में सरकार, मतलब नॉट इन इवन अ वीक, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वाज सक्सेसफुल in transferring 53,000 crores to 41 crore bank accounts in a week's time. और अगर ये टाइमली नहीं पहुंचता उन लोगों तक, उनकी हालत कितनी बुरी होती। तो यह है डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का बेनिफिट। मैंने इकोनॉमी में बताया, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में बताया, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन में बताया, गवर्नमेंट डिलीवरी में एक बताया, वेलफेयर में बताया। तो यह एक बड़ा हमारे लिए, भारत को कहते हैं ना कि नॉलेज इकोनॉमी, जो हमारे यहाँ पे, अगर आप इतिहास भी देखें हमारे भारत का, 5,000 साल का जो हमारा इतिहास है भारत का, उसमें से 3,000 साल का तो रिटर्न हिस्ट्री का इतिहास है। उसमें हमने ग्लोबल ट्रेड का 27% जो ट्रेड था वो भारत के पास रहता था। 300 साल का जो अंग्रेजों के टाइम का जो इतिहास है उसको छोड़ दीजिए, वह हमारा बहुत खराब है। जब से अंग्रेज आए थे उसके बाद का जो 300 साल का इतिहास है, लेकिन उससे पहले का जो 3,000 साल का जो इतिहास है रिटर्न हिस्ट्री वाला, उसमें हम ग्लोबल ट्रेड का 27% कंट्रोल करते थे। आज हम मात्र 2% ट्रेड, ग्लोबल ट्रेड का आज हमारे पास है। तो हमें ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन, इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी के रीजनल सप्लाई चेन के साथ अपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को इंटीग्रेट करना है। उसके लिए ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस क्रिएट करना है, ईज ऑफ लिविंग क्रिएट करना है। ईज ऑफ लिविंग कैसे होगा? वह सारा इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी से होगा। ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस कैसे होगा? गवर्नमेंट परमिशन वगैरह सब होगी। ये सारे चीजें हैं के हिसाब से मैं, हमारी जो रैंकिंग 142 थी 2014 में, वो 66 की रैंकिंग हो गई, ग्लोबल रैंकिंग।
ग्लोबल रैंक, वाह।
तो यह सारी चीजें हैं जो कि हमें बड़ा ही स्वाभिमान भी देती है और हमें वापस अर्थव्यवस्था के हिसाब से विश्व आर्थिक महाशक्ति बनना है। हमने देखा है, मैं चाइना 8 बार गया हूँ पीछे 30 साल के अंदर चाइना ने अपने लिए जबरदस्त बदलाव किया। क्यों? उसकी उसने अपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को बहुत मजबूत किया, उसने चीजों को समझते हुए टेक्नोलॉजी को बहुत इंटीग्रेट किया, फाइनेंशियल डिजिटल पेमेंट बहुत इंटीग्रेट किया, बहुत यूज किया, मोबाइल यूज किया। तो उसी तरह हमारे पास भी है, हमारे पास डिमांड भी है, हमारे पास यंग पॉपुलेशन भी है, सब कुछ हमारे पास, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, हमारे पास रिसोर्सेज है। कोई भी रिसोर्स ऐसा नहीं है, फ्रॉम कोल ब्लॉक से लेके कोल से, ऑयल का जरूर हमारे यहाँ कमी है, लैंड है, फॉरेस्ट, मिनरल्स है, सब कुछ है, सब कुछ चीजें हैं, वाटर है। तो यह सब चीजें, बहुत रिसोर्सेज हैं, उनको हम लीवरेज करके आर्थिक महाशक्ति के रूप में बढ़ सकते हैं।
और हमारी लीडरशिप भी इतनी स्ट्रांग है, हमारे पास मोदी जी है, गोपाल जी है, तब तो फिर ग्लोबली हमारी इकोनॉमी भी और जीडीपी भी बढ़ेगी बढ़ेगी, तो उसमें तो कोई दो राय है ही नहीं सर।
हाँ जी,
क्या
तो बहुत
सर?
अच्छा रहा। और
जी,
कोई प्रश्न हो तो बताएं।
और सवाल है सर, आपको लेट तो नहीं हो रहा है?
नहीं, कितना देर हो गया? अब 5 मिनट में फिनिश कर लें, बहुत है ना?
सर 10-15 मिनट लगेगा। एक सवाल है,
अच्छा, हाँ बताइए.
क्विक रैपिड फायर है.
हाँ हाँ बोलिए बोलिए. हाँ.
So now, having said all this thing, a very last question: do you think
Yeah.
digital divide could be reduced with the help of digital transformation? What role can bank plays in this regard?
एक बार रिपीट कर दीजिए.
Do you think digital divide digital divide could be reduced with the help of digital transformation? And what role can bank play in this regard?
कट रही. So I'm not getting the full question.
So, okay,
Digital transformation.
I think internet glitch है, आपको सुनाई नहीं दे रहा होगा. So
हाँ हाँ.
yeah.
चैट बॉक्स में डाल.
एक मिनट.
चैट में
वो चैट बॉक्स में डालूं मैं आपको? ठीक है सर.
डाल दीजिए.
जी. Do you think digital divide could be reduced with the help of digital transformation? And what role can banks play in this regard? Sir, I put the question on the chat box. So let me try and get him again. सर आप आ सकते हो 5 मिनट के लिए? जी जी जी. Guys, if you have any questions, you can just leave a comment over here. We can talk to sir and address all your questions. So we're just waiting for sir to join us. Let me send him. Guys, yeah, we have sir back.
हाँ
जी सर.
हाँ.
अब दो सर आए. सर आपको क्वेश्चन मिला सर?
हाँ डिजिटल हाउ कैन डिजिटल डिवाइड कैन बी रिड्यूस्ड है ना थ्रू. है ना. The thing is that this Dhan account is one of the important factor for reducing digital divide. The more and more people, if they come into this, I'll just get from my. I try to connect through the mobile. Just
This is very interesting topic, sir. Maza aa gaya.
Yeah. So that those people are left out. So
Yes.
ultimately, getting bank 100% bank accounts for all people.
Again नेट का प्रॉब्लम हो गया सर. Sir, we can't hear you.
हेलो
सर अगेन नेट का प्रॉब्लम हो गया है जी. आप मोबाइल से आ जाइए. हाँ हाँ हाँ. बेटर.
हाँ, तो digital divide there is a big gap. In my opening remark, I said that this issue of concentration of wealth and large population is not getting benefit of the growth in the economy was a big issue that has to be tackled by our government. So 100% bank account penetration is must. Then direct benefit transfer is important for various government schemes and welfare schemes. That through that, those people who are on the lower strata of the population, they can be lifted. You even see in the COVID, what we did is that we thought that the economic activity of manufacturing, etc., has been reduced. I'll close this.
Yeah, you can mute it. Yeah.
So the economic activity of manufacturing and industrial activity has stopped in the urban areas, but and the migration labor wanted to go to their own native places. They went there. So they were given money to transfer of Manrega through the almost 50,000 crore was given through Panchayat to be transferred to the migrant labor in their own area. One thing that, and we also found that if we push the money into the fiscal stimulus package into the rural area, that will give a larger mobility and the leverage to the money supply, because 1 rupee given to the population population section of the society which uses it almost 100%, that will give more cycle of transaction for the money. So velocity of money will be more in the rural areas. So we pushed lot of amount in the rural areas, and now you will see many of the report that the rural economy has picked up now. Yes. First, and it is driving lot of demand, so that now the industry people are also finding that the demand which was lost in the COVID cycle is not picking up. So this rural area, pushing money into the rural area has also helped into reducing the divide of the so creating mobile penetration, internet penetration, banking account, and then linking direct benefit transfer to those schemes together. All this thing will reduce digital divide and the disparity in the wealth of the population in India.
Wow, that was a wonderful session on empowerment, digital transformation, financial inclusion, ecosystem, and everything, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful inputs. Indeed, it was a very inspiring session. Your teaching was so inspiring. Now, moving on to a little fun part of it. Sir, I will not take more than 10 minutes of yours. Just a quick rapid fire. Who inspires you the most?
Who
inspires you the most? आपको इंस्पिरेशन
इफ यू हाँ या अगर आप करंट में देखें तो मोदी जी इंस्पायर्स मी इन द करंट पीपल पॉपुलेशन, और अगर इतिहास में हमारे संस्कृति में देखें तो
शंकराचार्य जी ने बहुत 32 साल की उम्र में उन्होंने जो चीज हमारी संस्कृति के लिए जितने ग्रंथ लिखे, जितने उन्होंने एक्सपाउंड किया हमारी फिलॉसफी को, जो एक बारी में पूरी तरह से we had lost our Vedant and the philosophy etc. He revived and made it so much easily available to the people, and then Gita Press through Hanuman Prasad Poddar did a wonderful book. Otherwise we would have lost all our great thought etc. Because earlier it was an oral tradition, but then oral tradition has not many takers now. So the Gita Press has done wonderful work, and Shankaracharya ji created so many literatures which were lost. He wrote thousands of commentaries and integrated the whole nation in with through this Char Dham and moving around this thing. So Shankaracharya ji has inspired me from the ancient people. Currently Modi ji inspires me a lot, because you have to get inspiration from which people with whom you are working closely, whom you can see and see his work and understand his work. Then from recent earlier history, other after Shankaracharya, Shivaji has inspired me a lot, because I think he was one of the great builder of Hindu Rashtra and Hindu Samrajya. And I think Sanatan Dharma, I am a great follower of Sanatan Dharma, and it has a wonderful thought, and it has to be preserved militarily. Shankara and that militarization or fighting for our nation and building a strong nation has also to be part of our strength, because unless जैसे दिनकर जी ने कहा है ना, विश्व नहीं सुनता कायरों का व्यर्थ प्रकल्प, क्षमा शोभती उस भुजंग को जिसके पास गरल है. तो मतलब अहिंसा एक लेवल तक तो ठीक है, बट लेकिन अगर दुश्मनों के साथ अहिंसा नहीं करनी चाहिए. तो शिवाजी ने रिसेंटली जो पूरा फिर से हमारे हिंदू साम्राज्य का वो बिल्ड किया और एक किया, चाणक्य, चंद्रगुप्त, ये मतलब ये कुछ लोगों ने बड़ा किया है, इंस्पायर.
और अपने रूट्स कितने स्ट्रॉन्ग है इनके वजह से.
हाँ,
अपने रूट्स कितने स्ट्रॉन्ग है इनके वजह से, द लेगेसी बहुत.
Yes, yes.
So what is the greatest risk you have ever taken?
What is the?
आपका और एक वीडियो ऑन है, ऐसा कुछ है सर?
नहीं, मैंने वो तो क्लोज कर दिया है. हाँ हाँ हाँ, दूसरा ऑन तो नहीं है ना, वो है क्या?
अब ठीक है.
हाँ.
So what is the greatest risk you have ever taken in life?
I was during the emergency. 13 years.
डर नहीं लगा?
Because I believe strongly in democracy. Democracy is the best form of government. It brings out the best in you, and it gives you empower a lot. And if you see various rules, regulation, governance model, so I think democracy is the most beneficial and very good. And during emergency, it was dictatorship was put, and Indira created that situation. Democratic rights were suspended. So I am against that, and at the age of 13 years, I thought I should do satyagraha against them, and it was one of the biggest risks, because at that time all the opposition leaders, even Jai Prakash Narayan, Atal ji, Advani ji, Mohan Dharia, all these senior leaders from all parties, across all parties, were put in jail, and nobody thought that there will be any future for democracy in India. But that time I took a risk and went to jail, and then 3 months I was in jail.
Oh
then,
my God.
I was in jail for 3 months.
3 months, sir.
Yeah.
At your tender age, 13 years, आपको क्या motivation मिला कि मैं?
So I fought, and that मतलब in that dark period also, उस बिल्कुल अंधकारमय समय में, जब प्रेस सेंसरशिप थी, कोई बोल नहीं सकता था. पता नहीं, आप तो बहुत छोटे हैं, पता नहीं होगा. बड़ा अजीब सा माहौल पूरा हो गया था. कोई किसी के सरकार के खिलाफ कोई बोल नहीं सकता. प्रेस के बिजली काट गई, काट दी गई थी और अखबारों में कोई सरकार के खिलाफ न्यूज नहीं आ सकती थी, जो अगेंस्ट बोलता था उसको तुरंत जेल में डाल दिया जाता था। तो उस सिचुएशन में लोगों को लग रहा था कि अब तो ये जीवन भर इंदिरा गांधी की डिक्टेटरशिप सहन करनी पड़ेगी, लेकिन 2 साल में धीरे धीरे इतना बड़ा संघर्ष खड़ा हुआ और उसको इंदिरा गांधी को फिर इलेक्शन डिक्लेयर करना पड़ा पब्लिक प्रेशर के ऊपर, और फिर वो खुद भी हार गई, कांग्रेस तो हारी, वो खुद भी इलेक्शन हार गई। तो उसने रिस्क हमने लिया, लेकिन उस रिस्क के बाद जो निकल के आए विक्टोरियस होके जो हम आए, उसने बहुत बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस दे दिया कि भारत में जो प्रजातंत्र है उसकी जड़ें बहुत गहरी है। भारत की संस्कृति और संस्कार और जो लोगों के अंदर जो कमिटमेंट है जो देश के प्रति, वह बहुत मजबूत है। इसीलिए ऐसे ही नहीं, इतनी बड़ी 5000 पुरानी संस्कृति आज भी खड़ी हुई है। कहते हैं ना, यूनान मिस्र रोमा सब मिट गए जहाँ से,
बिल्कुल
कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी। तो हम में कुछ तो चीजें हैं। तो वो रिस्क था हमारे जीवन में, जो सबसे बड़ा मेरे को लगता है रिस्क था।
मुझे तो रोने बड़े होने से मेरे साथ क्यों ऑल राइट, व्हाट इज द मोस्ट मेमोरेबल मोमेंट ऑफ योर?
मेमोरेबल मोमेंट ये है कि मुझे लगता है कि राम जन्मभूमि वाला आने वाला है 5 अगस्त का, क्योंकि 1992 के उसमें राम जन्मभूमि के उस आंदोलन में भी हमने भाग लिया था। और जब सोमनाथ का इतिहास पढ़ते ना, देखो किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूशन को या देश को वही चला सकते हैं जब आपको अपने परिवार के साथ स्वाभिमान होना चाहिए, जीवन में अपने ऊपर भी स्वाभिमान होना चाहिए। वैसे ही देश के संस्कृति के, देश के ऊपर भी स्वाभिमान होना चाहिए, तभी आप देश को मजबूती से खड़ा कर सकते हो, उसके साथ बढ़ा सकते हो, उसके साथ अपने आप को आत्मसात, जिसको कहते हैं ना, आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो। तो जो हमारी जो इतनी बड़ी संस्कृति है उसको प्रिजर्व करना, नॉलेज बेस को प्रिजर्व करना, उसको आगे ले जाना आज के जनरेशन में हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। और उसके कुछ आइकॉन्स थे, और जो प्रजातंत्र, जैसे परहित नहीं, तुलसीदास जी ने ना, परहित समान दुख नहीं भाई, जो गुलाम होता है ना उसके समान कोई दुख संसार में नहीं है। तो ये गुलामी के निशान जो हमारे ऊपर लग गए थे, चाहे वह 800 साल के विदेशी आक्रांताओं के हो, तैमूर के, इसके कई सारे आक्रांता आए, मुगल भी आए लेकिन वो यहाँ रह गए, लेकिन उसके बाद अंग्रेजों के। तो यह जो गुलामी के निशान थे उसको सरदार पटेल ने समझा, राजेंद्र प्रसाद ने समझा, और वो सोमनाथ के 17 बार उस मंदिर को तोड़ा और हमने हर बार उसको रीबिल्ड किया। और आज हमारे लिए एक स्वाभिमान का विषय, वैसा ही राम मंदिर 500 साल के संघर्ष के बाद 5 अगस्त को जो भव्य राम मंदिर की नींव रखी जाएगी, मुझे लगता है कि वह हम सबके लिए मेमोरेबल दिन होगा हमारे।
बिल्कुल सर, और वो बहुत जरूरी है अपने स्ट्रॉन्ग हो और अपने लिए वो चीज अपने पास है। So if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?
What?
अगर आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ एक चीज आप चेंज करना चाहो तो क्या चीज है?
रिपीट।
लैपटॉप ऑन है?
नहीं, मेरे को वो तो मैंने क्लोज कर रखा है वैसे।
अच्छा, if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be, sir?
If I can
Change one thing about your life.
teach.
Now, if you can change one thing about your life.
Yes, one thing. I think my pursuit for knowledge and information, pursuit for knowledge has helped me a lot. I read, interact with people, talk to them. Those who are knowledgeable people, I like to have friendship with them. So go for knowledge pursuit is one thing that will, कहते हैं जितना खर्च करो, पैसा जो है वो खर्च करोगे तो कम हो जाएगा, लेकिन नॉलेज जितना खर्च करोगे बढ़ता जाएगा। तो गो फॉर नॉलेज, इट विल हेल्प, आपको जीवन में मजबूती देगा, स्ट्रेंथ देगा, मेंटल। आज आपने सुशांत सिंह राजपूत कितना कैपेबल था, लेकिन मेंटली he sometimes showed some weakness. I think विकट परिस्थितियां हर के जीवन में आती, किसके भी नहीं आती। उसके साथ संघर्ष करने के लिए जो आपके पास कमिटमेंट्स होते हैं, जो आपके लिए संस्कार होते हैं, और जो आपके पास नॉलेज बेस होता है, जो माइंड की स्टेबिलिटी होती है, जो आपने किसी भी चीज में, किताबों का क्या महत्व है कि अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंस आप पढ़ते हैं, और उस सारी सिचुएशन में रामायण महाभारत वगैरह जो पढ़ते हैं, गीता पढ़ते हैं, तो वो आप अगर उस सिचुएशन में आओगे तो कैसे करना है, तो वो आपको उस सिचुएशन में पता चल जाएगा. तो नॉलेज, परस्यूट ऑफ नॉलेज इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
एब्सोल्युटली. ये फिजिक्स टीचर उसने ऐसा कर दिया और इतना वो. Anyways, let's not talk about it. So please, where you love being the most?
हाँ,
कौन सी जगह आपको सबसे ज्यादा अच्छी लगती है रहने के लिए? जैसे मुझे हिमालय, घर.
मुझे तो हिमालय, मैंने ट्रैकिंग बहुत की है.
ये सर.
हाँ, आई हैव डन ह्यूज लॉट ऑफ ट्रैकिंग. एक महीने तक मैं पीठ पे सामान लेके, टेंट लेके हिमालय में खूब घूमा हूँ. Ladakh, most of the treks in India I have done in Himalayas, North India side. This
Achha.
Uttarakhand, Himachal, yeah, Garhwal, all these, many of almost 15-20 treks I have done. Even Ladakh I have been walked Ladakh, Kargil, Dras, all these places I have, Lama Yuru, those I have trekked them, walking, travel lot in my college days. So Himalayas attracts me a lot.
Wonderful.
Rishikesh is my
fact which most of us don't know about it. ये मेरा रैपिड फायर बहुत सही है.
हाँ.
Yeah. तो otherwise आप शायद मुझे बताते भी नहीं. और नहीं आपके हमारे ऑडियंस को पता चलता है. फेवरेट हॉबी?
My favorite hobby, I have adventure sports was in my college days. Adventure sports was my favorite hobby. I have done lot of trekking. So traveling is my favorite. I have visited almost many countries, even Africa, wildlife also. So I travel. My hobby is traveling. Even Northeast, I have traveled a lot. So one passion that I have is to go visit places, stay there, understand their life. So traveling you can call now as my hobby, which I like very much.
You're more nature.
Yeah.
And the very last question: if you were to be the PM of one day, what is the first thing you would do? मुझे माफ करना.
That the time will tell. I have to go cover lot of steps for that. If I believe in God's destiny, and nature has his own way of creating deserving candidates and putting them in the right places. So and it nurtures the talent also accordingly. So I think still nature has to nurture me to do things. But if I get any chance where power is with me, I would definitely make India an economic superpower in the world.
Totally agree with you, sir. Totally. I know
I have clear roadmap on this.
Intelligent, sir. Super intelligent. Especially this finance, economic. You are too good. So, a message for social tables now.
This is a very good platform. I have seen your activities. I have seen on Instagram and LinkedIn and other platforms also. And I think social tables is a good combination of various platforms where people are interacting, and you, with your background on social work, you have been conducting these knowledge sessions very well. Otherwise, this 2 hours knowledge session in itself is not an easy thing to do. Your questions bring out the best in the speakers, because ultimately, wherever if you see any speaker, the same speaker in a different set of audience will deliver differently.
Absolutely.
It is the interaction of the anchor or the audience level which brings out the best thing in the speaker. So I think social table is a good platform of interaction, and along with this, your activities, social activities is important. Integrating your thoughts into action is important. So I think I have not seen very much your social activity. I'm not very acquainted because you are in Mumbai, but I, with my perception and think that I think you are very much involved in social activities and women empowerment. I think you should work more, because if you have empowered women, the whole family gets empowered, from the young child to the old age people. So everybody feels integrated with the good women force in the family. They can
Absolutely,
look
sir.
into.
Absolutely, sir. COVID, during COVID, social tables was born is just months old. We have done some shows today, and
So you have the combination of being a woman, being socially active, and being digitally active also. Platform is also there, and you have enthusiasm for delivering all these things. My best wishes.
thank you so much, sir. Every adversity brings opportunity, and here we are today because of that opportunity. Wow, that was an amazing response. And that was, before we conclude, a few word of wisdom or an advice for our audience.
I have told that knowledge, pursuit of knowledge, information gathering, and digital interaction on social media just for socializing is getting more attraction from the young people. I think this social media, digital platforms, etc., should be used for gaining knowledge more, focus more on that instead of just socializing. That's one message at current, because our topic is digital India. So
Absolutely.
with that linking, I think there's a Google or websites, etc., search engines have huge knowledge. YouTube and etc. Any subject you put, you can listen, walking, exercising with, you can listen to those YouTube lectures, etc. Education, knowledge. Go for any topic, search for it, listen to it, get into the depth, read about it, and gain the knowledge through social media. At least 2-3 hours you should spend on social media gaining knowledge.
Incredible. With a knowledgeable person, you will always gain some good, very knowledge and very amazing word of advice as well. Well, sir, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Let me take an opportunity to give you a vote of thanks. It's a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks to Mr. Gopalji, who, despite his busy schedule, ensured to be here and break up the special interaction with us. We are extremely grateful to you for sharing your words of encouragement and giving us valuable inputs. Your eminent has indeed made this session a memorable one. We unite to thank you from the bottom of our heart for your kindness, interest, and support. We wish you all the very best in your endeavors. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, and my great appreciation for giving me this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.